Hello and welcome to Science Monitor, a show that brings to you the most significant news from the world of science, technology, innovation, research, discoveries and much more. My name is Aishwarya and here are this week's headlines. 10 lives are lost in an outbreak of the rare Nipah virus in Kerala, but the situation is now under control due to steps taken by the state and central government. The Department of Scientific and Industrial Research invites applications for promoting innovations in individuals, startups and micro, small and medium enterprises, also called the PRISM program, to achieve inclusive development. Vigyan Prasar organizes Science Fusion 2018 from 21st to 28th of May to sensitize students through science-based activity learning. Scientists at Indian Institute of Natural Resins and Gums, Ranchi, Jharkhand, have synthesized an environment-friendly hydrogel from gum of guar that increases soil moisture and helps protect crops during water shortage. The Nipah virus, which has resulted in the death of 10 people in Kerala, is regarded as a new disease by the World Health Organization or the WHO. The state and central government have taken a number of steps to contain its spread, and the situation is now believed to be under control. The Nipah virus is transmitted to humans from animals like bats and pigs and can also be transmitted directly from human to human. In the case of Kerala, the Nipah virus has been attributed to a well inhabited by fruit bats, which are natural carriers of the virus. Nipah causes encephalitis and inflammation of the brain, and other symptoms include a fever, vomiting, severe headache and even breathing problems. Science Monitor brings you a detailed report on the Nipah virus.
The Nipah virus or NIV infection is a newly emerging disease. It is caused by a rare but deadly virus which has a mortality rate of over 70%. Till now, there is no treatment or vaccine available for either people or animals infected by the virus. The only way to stay safe from this disease is to prevent getting infected by the fatal virus. In order to do so, let's first understand how this virus spreads. According to the World Health Organization, Nipah virus infection is zoonosis, which means it spreads from animals to humans. Fruits bat of the Pteropodidae family are the natural host of the Nipah virus. During the outbreak of Nipah virus infection in 2001 in Siliguri and 2007 in West Bengal, it was observed that mostly people became infected after consuming the date palm sap, which was contaminated by infected fruit bats. It was a clear indicator that this virus spread from animals to fruits and then to humans. The Nipah virus infection can also spread from pigs to humans, getting in close contact with the animal. However, this virus has the potential to spread from human to human as well.
The primary host is a bat, fruit bat, which is the primary host, and from the bats it passes on to passed on to the pigs and then pigs to humans. Initially, there was no human-to-human transmission. It was people who were working with pigs, their feces, their urine, if they came in contact with that, and then they developed.
In 2001, many health workers, along with the visitors of hospitals who came in contact with the patients, also got infected by the virus. People contracting the virus experience symptoms of encephalitis, inflammation in the brain, fever, vomiting, headache, along with breathing problems. A patient can fall into coma within 48 hours of contracting the virus. As per WHO, there are no drugs or vaccines available for the virus yet. The main treatment for those infected is intensive support care. Initial signs and symptoms of NIV infection are non-specific and the diagnosis is often not suspected. Nipah virus infection or NIV infection can be diagnosed together mainly with tests such as real-time polymerase chain reaction or RT-PCR from bodily fluids as well as antibody detection via enzyme-linked immunosorbent assay or ELISA. However, the primary precaution one can take from getting infected with the virus are to avoid eating fruits contaminated by bats, avoid getting in contact with infected pigs, and staying away from close unprotected physical contact with Nipah virus infected people. An initial investigation by a medical team sent by the centre to probe the sudden outbreak of the deadly Nipah virus in Kerala suggests it is a localized occurrence which is unlikely to spread. Health Ministry officials said that the situation is under control and the National Centre for Disease Control team is constantly monitoring it. Although Nipah virus infection is now on the priority list of diseases of World Health Organization, research to find a cure for this virus in India is underway.
The Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, or DSIR, has called for proposals for promoting innovations in individuals, startups and micro, small and medium enterprises, also known as the PRISM program. The candidate eligible to participate in this program needs to be an Indian citizen with an innovative idea that can be translated into a workable model or prototype. The innovation should be useful in improving the livelihoods of the rural poor so as to achieve the government's mission of inclusive development. Here is our report.
India has an enormous potential of emerging as a leader in the field of research and development. The role of innovation in this context cannot be ignored, and the Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, or DSIR, under the Ministry of Science and Technology is responsible for promoting R&D by industries and support small and medium industrial units to develop state-of-the-art globally competitive technologies in the country. It also helps in utilization of new innovations through its resources and channelize the benefits to the people. DSIR has been supporting many innovative projects through programs like promoting innovations in individuals, startups, micro, small and medium enterprises, also called the PRISM, which emphasizes that development should not only lead to new products and technologies, but also to new approaches to improve the livelihoods of rural poor. It is one of the unique programs of DSIR to nurture micro, small and medium enterprises, or MSMEs, along with individual innovators in the country. PRISM provides grants to support individual innovators in two distinct phases. Innovation incubation in the first phase, where maximum financial support is ₹20 lakh. The innovators who successfully complete PRISM Phase 1 project qualify for enterprise incubation support in the second phase, where the cap is ₹50 lakh, to take innovation to market by becoming technopreneur. The PRISM program is started to promote individual innovators and support them in becoming technology-based startups or entrepreneurs, commonly known as technopreneurs.
We receive the idea from the innovator from our outreach centers, which are established all across the country, and those innovations, after examined by the experts, come to our committee in Delhi, and final recommendation is given and the grant in aid is recommended to the innovator.
Many of young innovators experiences financial struggles during research, developing a prototype and testing of the product. Programs like PRISM provides them the required funding support at each step that helps them in transforming their idea into a marketable product or process. An innovator can be anybody from budding student, professionals to common citizen having Indian citizenship with an innovative idea which can be translated into working prototypes, models or process can apply for support under PRISM scheme. Whereas proposals based on basic research, perpetual motion machines, proposals against known scientific principles or proposals having low innovation value are not considered under PRISM. Proposals submitted under the scheme should preferably be either in green technology, clean energy, industrially utilizable smart materials, waste to wealth, affordable healthcare, water and sewage management, and any other technology or knowledge-intensive area.
Many individual innovators, they get the ideas, but there was no channel through which they can give a shape to their ideas. So PRISM is the scheme or the mechanism which provides them this opportunity to convert their idea into a commercializable product. At the phase 1 stage, where we give from 2 lakh to 20 lakh rupees, and if the innovation is satisfactory, completed, we give him another 50 lakh rupees, to in a way we facilitate to make him a entrepreneur also.
A two-tier mechanism consisting of a PRISM Secretariat or Outreach Center and PRISM Advisory Committee screens and evaluates the proposals received for allocating the funds to the beneficiary. The proposals are referred to domain experts for seeking techno-economic viability of the idea to be considered for financial support to the beneficiary. Some of the technologies developed under the PRISM program are a novel Jacquard punched card reader for digitizing the woven designs, waterless urinal technology, semi-automatic plasma expressor, low-cost sequence embroidery machine for productivity enhancement in Zari and Zardozi work, biodegradable sanitary napkin for women, farm-level cold storage, and so on. For more information on program and downloading the application forms, you can log on to www.tsir.gov.in. As per present directive of Government of India, candidates can apply for support under PRISM scheme till 31st March 2020.
It's time for a short break, but when we return, we will take you to Science Fusion 2018, an event organized by Vigyan Prasar to inculcate scientific temper among students. But that's after a short break, so keep watching.
Currently, what do you think are our major challenges in protecting our biological diversity?
Biodiversity is largely now threatened by the climate change. Lot of forests are being diverted for development purposes. I am not questioning the need. I am only saying that it has to be sustainable development, and sustainable development can only come when linked with conservation of biodiversity.
Watch Eureka with Dr. R.S. Rana, former Director, National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources, New Delhi. Saturday 4 p.m. and Sunday 12 noon, only on Rajya Sabha Television.
Science plays an integral part in our daily lives, right from the machines that make our life comfortable to electricity that powers them. It would be correct to state that science propels our lives. So, learning and understanding scientific concepts at an early age can help students develop a scientific temperament and encourage them to pursue a career in science. With this aim, Vigyan Prasar is organizing Science Fusion 2018 from 21st to 28th of May at the National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting premises in Noida. Science Monitor brings you a report.
Summer vacations are an integral part of students' life, where they look up to participate in several extracurricular activities from which they can learn and grasp knowledge about new things. To make this free time of students a fun with learning experience, Vigyan Prasar, an autonomous organization under the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, is organizing an activity-based program called Science Fusion from 21st to 28th May. The major objective of this program is to inculcate scientific temper among school children and to give them hands-on training experience through various science activities like experiments, science dramas, making simple machines, etc. Science Fusion 2018 is organized at the premises of National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting in Noida. Dr. Neera Jain, Joint Director, National Book Trust, Dr. Diksha Gupta, Managing Editor, American Chemical Society and Kapil Tripathi, Scientist E, inaugurated the event on 21st May. The week-long activity-based science program will continue till 28th May. The inaugural event of Science Fusion 2018 was marked by a launch of 2 books, Science Festival, Fun with Life Science by Irfana Begum and Haroon H. Marikar, and How Machine Works by Vivek Yadav. In addition, a tool machine kit for students was launched, which consists of instruction manual for making things like hydraulic arms, electric bell, scissor arms, etc. Science Fusion is one-of-a-kind program that encourages students to understand the mechanism behind things, which is useful for the genesis of interests in science. The students will be provided with informative and interactive materials and will be guided by the experts. This program will have several interactive sessions on how machine works, how to handle scientific instruments, activity kits, nature exploration, fun with mathematics, hands-on physics, chemistry and biology, astronomy, sky watching, mechanics, fold scope and science film shows.
ये प्रोग्राम एक वीक तक चलेगा और इसमें जो हमने क्राइटेरिया रखा था कि 6 से लेकर 9वीं क्लास तक के बच्चे इसमें पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे और बेसिकली इसका ऑब्जेक्टिव ये है कि बच्चों में कैसे साइंस के प्रति इंटरेस्ट डेवलप किया जाए, कैसे उनके अंदर क्रिएटिविटी डेवलप की जाए और हैंड्स ऑन साइंस कैसे उनके लर्निंग में सहायक हो सकती है। इन तीनों पहलुओं को ध्यान में रखते हुए इस प्रोग्राम का आयोजन किया जा रहा है।
Learning new things by making small handmade prototypes is one of the best ways to learn and explore science in daily life. The main highlights for this year's Science Fusion were the sessions which introduced the students to diverse fields of science and technology. These included knowledge on medical equipment, sound energy, the use of technology to understand disasters, and the technique of fingerprinting. Many prominent scientists and science communicators organized science communication sessions for the students.
ये चौथा साइंस फ्यूजन है हमारा विज्ञान प्रसार का और जिसमें हमने मैकेनिक्स का जैसे सेशन लिया है तो बच्चे अलग अलग तरह की मशीनें किस तरह से काम कर सकती हैं, हाइड्रो पावर क्या होता है, विंड पावर क्या होता है, वो सब चीज़ें समझ पाएंगे जब वो छोटी छोटी किट के ज़रिए से मशीनें बनाएंगे खुद और वो किस तरह से काम करती हैं उनको समझ पाएंगे।
Other important activities included the hands-on activity session, knowledge imparted on nature exploration, and fun with mathematics. The anticipation and curiosity of children were revealed during astronomy, a sky-watching session where they explored the vast universe. Around 80 students from class 6 to 9 are participating in Science Fusion 2018 from different schools of Delhi and NCR. Participation certificates will be given to all the participants on successful completion of the program. Last year in Science Fusion, story and poem writing sessions were organized, but this year, for the first time, interesting science dramas are being showcased to impart scientific knowledge in a fun way. Science Fusion by Vigyan Prasar is an initiative to induce an integrated approach to science, learning through experimentation and to inculcate a scientific temper among the young minds by nurturing them at an early age.
In agriculture, the use of synthetic polymers is popular. However, these are not readily biodegradable and their residual products after degradation are hazardous for the environment. Scientists at the Indian Institute of Natural Resins and Gums, Ranchi, proved that guar gum-based hydrogel can be used as an alternative material to the synthetic polymers, which not only increase soil moisture but are also environment-friendly. Here is our report.
Globally, agriculture is mainly dependent on rainfall for good yields. However, uncertainties in frequency and patterns of rainfall results in crop losses every year. Other challenges to agricultural yields include desertification and climate change. While a number of methods are being employed to address problems of water scarcity, the use of synthetic materials has been found to be popular amongst farmers. But this material is not biodegradable and gets converted into hazardous material which is harmful to the environment. To address this challenge, a team led by Dr. Nand Kishore Thombre from the Indian Institute of Natural Resins and Gums, Ranchi in Jharkhand, has developed a hydrogel from gum of gaur, also called cluster beans, which is environment-friendly and not only increases soil moisture, but also helps farmers save their crops in case of water scarcity.
We all are familiar with gaur as vegetable. The gaur gum is obtained from the gaur seeds. It is a part of endosperm. It contains galactose and mannose, which when added to the water gives thickening property. And because of its thickening, gelling, binding and quick solubility in cold water, these properties, it is applicable in variety of industries. In India, about 60% of the land is rain-fed. If we want to save our crop, we need to conserve water, we need to increase our water use efficiency. This hydrogel is one step in this direction. It can absorb moisture and water when it is available in excess, that is in rainy season, and it can make it available to the plants in dry period. So hydrogels, once applied in soil, will increase its moisture holding capacity, and this will result in a significant increase in the yield.
The main challenge to Dr. Nandkishore Thombre and his team was to develop a hydrogel which had good water holding capacity and was able to release water in a controlled way for optimal utilization by the plants. Further, the team wanted to ensure that the material would not become an environmentally hazardous material upon degradation. So the researchers studied the properties of guar gum, and as a result, this novel super absorbent hydrogel was synthesized from guar gum. This newly synthesized hydrogel has been found to be fairly durable, biodegradable and transparent, with quick water absorbing and retaining properties. This water absorbent hydrogel, after addition to the soil as a fine powder, has been found to improve its moisture absorption and retention capacity even at lower concentrations, and thus helps in water conservation as well. Indeed, Dr. Nandkishore Thombre and his team's work has the potential to change the lives of farmers not only in India but across the world.
It's time for a short break here, and when we come back, we will bring you some more news on science and innovation from India and around the world. But that's after a short break, so keep watching Science Monitor.
Ghata, one of the oldest and most unique percussion instruments of southern India. You can play it not only with your fingers, but palms, wrists and heels as well. You'll be surprised, but the air inside the ghatam reverberates, creating the musical notes. 5 elements of nature, earth, water, air, fire and space, make up the composition of this beautiful musical piece, which has found an apt place in most of the ancient books.
Welcome back after the break, and let's now take a quick look at some more scientific innovations and developments from India and around the world.
Dr. Arkot Ramachandran, the first Secretary of the Department of Science and Technology, DST, passed away on 17th May 2018. Known for his work on thermal engineering and heat transfer, he was conferred with the Padma Bhushan, the third highest civilian award, for his services in the fields of science and engineering. He also held the position of Under-Secretary General of the United Nations Center for Human Settlements. He was also instrumental in setting up the Science and Engineering Research Council for positioning science and technology as the center for social and economic change. The scientific community across the country paid its tribute to the great scientist. This week, the World Health Organization published its first ever Essential Diagnostics List, which is basically a checklist of medical tests to help identify the most common diseases and those on the global priority list of diseases. The Essential Diagnostics Test consists of in vitro tests like tests of blood and urine, and diseases such as HIV, tuberculosis and malaria, etc. This step was taken to address the problem of people's inability to access diagnostic services and thus failing to receive the correct treatment. Scientists from Coral, or the Center for Oceans, Rivers, Atmosphere and Land Sciences, along with IIT Kharagpur, the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology or IITM, Pune, and the Indian National Centre for Ocean Information Services in Hyderabad have developed a new model for estimating variability and trends in rainfall over different climatic regions of the country. The new statistical model, based on multiple linear regression, MLR, will help in improving the existing weather forecasting for both the southwest and the northeast monsoons. The study was published in Scientific Reports. On 21st May, India successfully test-fired BrahMos supersonic cruise missile from the integrated test range in Odisha, aimed at increasing its life from 10 to 15 years. BrahMos is said to be the world's fastest supersonic cruise missile. Later, on 22nd May, the second consecutive test fire of the missile was done to validate its strike capability. Through this launch, the critical indigenous components, including fuel management system and other non-metallic airframe components, have qualified to form part of the missile.
And in the history of science, this week we remember Prahlad Chunilal Vaidya, born on 23rd of May 1918 in Gujarat. Vaidya was an Indian physicist and mathematician. His major research was on the general theory of relativity. He is widely known for developing Vaidya metric that provides solutions to the complicated equation of Einstein's theory of relativity. He was the founder member of Indian Association for General Relativity and Gravitation. He was also influential in the establishment of Gujarat Mathematical Society. In his entire career span, he authored and co-authored 30 research papers on the topics of relativity and gravitation. He was the author of several famous science and mathematics books in Gujarati and English. Prahlad Chunilal Vaidya passed away on 12th of March 2010 at the age of 91. His solutions to the equations of gravitation and relativity continue to be the basis of several researchers in this field. Well, that is all for this episode of Science Monitor. You can send your feedback and suggestions to Science Monitor on our email ID news@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write into us at Vigyan Prasar, C24, Kutub Institutional Area, New Delhi 110016. We'll see you again next week with another episode of Science News and Innovations. Till then, goodbye and take care.